channel. It's October, so that can only mean one thing, can't it?
Absolutely, it's time for Birmingham.
Off to the NEC, see the Caravan and Motorhome show.
Yeah, we've got a number of films lined up, or hopefully lined up for you. So stay tuned, keep an eye on the channel, and enjoy this year's 2025 Caravan and Motorhome show.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
See you on the road. So, morning one of the show. Fantastic indeed, and where better to start than down at the end of the Campervans. You can see it's an absolutely huge show here. The October one is always, if you wanted a trip down here, then the October one has probably got more information, more vans, more of everything on display rather than the February-March one. Both good shows, but we're right down obviously in the Campervan area, but it is a huge expanse of exhibitor area to come and have a browse round. So let's have a look at the Campervans down here. There's always some fantastic models to browse through if you're down at the Birmingham show. And some of these 2026 colours already jumping out. Some new designs and new fronts and facelifts and many a change for the 2026 vans. There's a lovely VW, definitely a changed front end as well there on that. And no shortage of bright colours. On a Ford base there, 74k. So we're down on the Bilbos.com site. They always have a really nice selection of really compact, well-sized vans. If you're thinking of venturing into the campervan market, look at this lovely little blue one. Conversions, as you see there, from 24k, and fantastic little compact space. But a few of the essentials of life built into them as well, not least of which is the loo at the back and the table stowed away there. Fitted you in a little cooker. Let's get a little bit of light in there. Being early morning in the show, then some of the internal lighting is still off on the vans. They have certainly packed in a lot of features in this, haven't they? Little hook up at the back there. Obviously based on the VW Transporter, and indeed some prestigious awards that they've had over the years. Loving the bespoke cushions. A lot of the vans I've already seen here have got a few makeovers from last year when we were here, a few facelifts on various bits of the bodywork, a bit of blingy additions as technology moves on. Water and power storage at the sides here, and then that space offered up by the pop top with a board that drops down there as well. And you know, compared with some of the top end VW campers, which last year was sort of, you know, 80, 90k, these are sort of 20 or 30k less than that. This one, for example, is just under 70k on the road, 68 on the road. Great little compact vehicles, aren't they? And this one is fantastic. Look at the kit on this, with the side pop top. It's got the cycle rack, 4 bikes on the back. Blimey, that is well kitted. Similar little cubby holes everywhere with your storage. Converts into a bed at the back here, and then you've got this. Let's have a little look at this side opening pop top. Yeah, with the board that comes over it there. You can just see the lift up board there. And this bench seat that turns to face the other way. Looks like you'd have to disconnect that and sort of slide it out rather than rotate it. Pop-up table there. Then immediately next to Bilbo's, we've got the Choby stand. Look at that. Now that's definitely got a bit of bling on it. Beautifully done. That's a really vibrant blue, isn't it, on that VW? Look at these wheels. This one is their Camper GT. See the price in there. Lovely finish, a little bit of blue stitching on the seats as well. That stainless steel, brush steel fronts on the oven and the fridge there. Blue stitching as well, inlaid onto here. That lovely 2026 VW dashboard there. Nice, I do love that colour though. That really does jump out at you, doesn't it? That bright blue, lovely. And then just opposite, got one in metallic grey there. Nice, completely invisible catching there, just done on a press. More storage under there. That links down to this little cupboard there. There's your space for your gas bottle. 12-volt socket at the back there. Don't know about the driver being able to get out of this one though. Shoehorned into their spaces for the show. And this grey one is this grey one comes in at under 70k, 67.5 this one. A little bit less blinged, isn't it? So it's a bit more basic with the wheels than the blue one over there, so hence it's slightly lower price point. And then they've got one up around 92k here, and you can see why. Hey, it's a bigger van, but it's also got some nice, really nice blingy features there. Good size van, full size sort of washroom area as well.
So where's your sandpit?
You know, I think
Converting bed at the back.
cocktail hour. Right. As long as I get served at the bar.
This is an interesting stand as well. Tucked away at the side is Camper King, and their specialism, or their USP, shall we say, is about off-grid camping. And what, believe it or not, what is shoehorned into this van is 1,000 amp hours of power. Now that is phenomenal, and not just that, they've also got diesel heated hot water. So with an option of a combi boiler, you can then have diesel powered hot water, diesel from the actual vehicle tank. It's got solar on the roof, 240 watts of solar, together with that massive option of 1,000 amp hours. It starts at 300, but you can increase from there. But with 1,000 amp hours and the fridge and lighting having a range of about 24 days off grid with that amp hourage, that is absolutely incredible, really interesting. And the top spec one is only in the 70,000 area, whereas I must say, when I came to look at them and saw that it was 1,000 amp hours, I was expecting, you know, prices up around 90k, but to be down in the 70s and to have 1,000 amp hours of power, and it's tucked away in those recesses under there, they've tucked away not only 1,000 amp hours of power, but there's also a 60 litre fresh water tank. So again, some fantastic off-grid capability, not least of which as well, there's some fabulous upholstery and a fabulous finish in here. That's a really, I've never seen anything with, or never seen a VW camper size carrying as much off-grid capability as this. Here goes a little bit of the spec, some of the extra costs. That hot water on demand, that's what I was talking about. That's when, if you went for that option, they would put in the combi boiler, which again, diesel, so it's a standard diesel heating as opposed to electric blown air. It's diesel heating, but then you can upgrade to the combi boiler to have diesel heating and hot water. So that is really nice, and I love the finish as well, the colour, metallic paint finish. That is a lot of van for that sort of price point, and very impressive, I have to say. Certainly by a long way the biggest off-grid capability I think I've ever seen at the show. Having been coming here for many years, that's a real step into different territory, isn't it, for that off-grid capability in something this size. So yeah, really, really interesting display from Camper King there. There's some of those features I was mentioning. That's a good turnaround as well, 5-week delivery. They're based in the Midlands, in and around Banbury, so you remember from previous shows, one of our favourite stands is Redline Campers, and these two, Camper King and Redline, are actually know each other well. They're not far apart, so between the two of them they offer some lovely options for you, and a visit to the Midlands, of course, to see both places, both Redline and Camper King, would certainly not be time wasted, that's for sure. Big factory premises there. So having seen Camper King and that incredible offer, let's go and have a look and see what 2026 is bringing for Redline Campers. So down on to the Redline stand, type approved vehicles, NCC approved vehicles. They have actually gone the extra mile, Redline, in terms of their compliance with all the recognised industry standards, which is absolutely brilliant. They've got some lovely colours on show here this year. Look at this lovely green. So these come with AGM batteries, 100 amp hour AGM batteries, so a different concept completely to the Camper King stand that we saw over there. But of course you can get upgrades to the power package that's offered. You can see that they've got that trademark lovely Redline upholstery finishes. You have a massive choice of upholstery finishes with Redline. And this is a really lovely finish in here. And you can see as well that because the way the bed folds, it's allowed the bed to finish here, and so it's given this little, almost like little island jutting out, which is not something I've seen in a lot of vans. You normally get that straight line of fittings down the side there. So that's a quite nice little touch as well. Adds a bit more of uniqueness to the van itself. The table as well stores in the door, so that's a really good use of space. And there you can see you've got some contactless charging points. And then the storage spaces, these nice little catches here, nicely done. That has to be, if you take these out, the smallest wardrobe rail in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. There's some of your electrics hiding under there. All of the Redline vans now, they've added the rails on the floor so that all the beds are and all the fittings are the sliding type. If I just go and take you over to this red one here, there you go. So you can see the rail system now, which is installed in all of their vans, which makes, of course, converting into a bed a lot easier. That one's actually got 6 seats in it. If you had the double bench at the front as well as the driver's seat, that would give it a 6 belted seat option. So I mean, that's those perhaps struggle to fit 6 people in there, as in sleep in there, but certainly got some transport capability if you're carrying other sleeping accommodation as well with you. And then this lovely red one, again, this was a bit like some of the Redline vans that we looked at last year, where it had that straight finish all the way along there rather than the little island bit. But again, you can get the flavour that there's a massive amount of floor space here because of that slide back, the rails going all the way to the back here. There you go, right the way to the back. And then the usual finish of these, let's just put a little bit of light in there. The usual finish that you'd expect from Redline, with really nice finished and CNC'd edges into every little detail here. It's always something which I've found impressive with Redline, was their level of finish and the sculpting, CNC sculpting of all the fixtures and fittings that go into the vans. Very nice indeed. Blends well with the carpet, doesn't it? But there's some nice wheels as well, look at those. And there's that little black gloss black skirt going down the edge there, which is a nice touch. And one thing I didn't show you on the green one was the wheels on this one. These are lovely. Look at those. Absolutely cracking wheel finish, that. And then in the middle we've got they're obviously on different wheelbases. Each of the vans you can get a massive choice, as I say, of interior and cabinet finishes, upholstery finishes. But there's those rails that fit on the base of the van there, which make everything so easy to convert. Some lovely vans though, aren't they? Redline are based right in the sort of middle of the country near Daventry, and therefore if you're out van hunting, then it's always a good stop off in the Midlands there for either this and or for the stand that we just came from, Camper King as well. A Midlands powerhouse, you could call it, in and around Banbury and Daventry. But if you're coming this week, then of course, or indeed any year, then Redline are often down here in Hall 11, and are always set down in this corner, so it's a must visit if you're in the market for the campervan size vehicles. There's some of their price points and the options that you can add. And this one over here, this one went up to 76k with the options. Some nice options as well as your diesel heater options, and your the wheel options that we just looked at there. The super metal, they're obviously an option to upgrade to. So as we've come to expect over the years with Redline, let's just go and look at this one over here. As we've come to expect, there's a really stripped out one, very basics, how they start their life. Certainly some bright blues, aren't there, this year? Yeah, really nice display as ever from Redline. Lots of really nice finishes, lots of matching upholstery finishes. The trademark finishes of all the cabinetry and the fittings and fixtures and the recessed lighting. It's really, every sort of detail is covered and is finished well. And of course, all, as I say, to all the relevant industry standards. There are some stands here which still have signs saying they're awaiting some of their final approvals. So it's just something to think about if you're buying any sort of vehicle really, but campervans as well as motorhomes or bigger, is that, are they meeting and have they got certification on their vehicles for current industry standards? Just something to look up if you're starting to research buying a van of any type, be it this size or be it right up to your big 9-metre motorhomes. The show itself here is obviously an NCC show. That's one of the manufacturing standards, but there are others as well, and it's just always worth asking those questions as to whether they've got current industry certification, particularly if you're using van converters. And then just next to Redline, we've got Out and About Campers. They do a mixture. They do the sort of slightly larger size of that lovely pop top. Look at those. Definitely some rugged looking vehicle, and that lovely matte green paint. Do like that. I suspect it might not be the last matte coloured paint finish we see this year. And then there's a little one of their smaller campers. This one obviously is based on the VW Transporter, but a lovely upholstery finish in that, isn't it? This is obviously the 4-berth model with the pop top there. And it's about 74.5k, so similar sort of price points to those that we've looked at already, all in the 70s for some of the topper spec ones, which is a sort of sign of the times in that probably 12 months ago, 18 months ago, I'd be looking at these and there'll be some 80s, 90s. We even had one year, I think it was the year before last, where there's some were over 100,000. But now I think we've had a little bit of rebalancing, shall we say, on the market, which has seen the prices come down a bit. I like that colour scheme and that contrast with the cabinets as well. Little roller shutters. All the cubby holes that you'd expect in a campervan of this size, although there's an addition to this one, which is a little shower unit at the back here, just above your gas bottle storage. Little side entrance. into that storage, and obviously part of your bed conversion here at the back. But you can see that difference as well straight away, of course, is the floor. So we saw Redline had all those lovely sliding rails now, which make life a lot easier. This has got some of the older, well, not older, but just some of the alternative finish, which is the up and over and where the three panels of the bed are made up by the hinge process of the seat itself here. So I think personally I prefer the rail finish, but of course that's the beauty of the show. You've got every choice available here for whatever your preference is. But I certainly like the cabinetry contrast here. That's a really nice finish. And let's have a quick look at their larger version here. That's a nice, really nice finish. See the big pop top up above me there. And then a really nice finish in here. It's a similar sort of colour scheme, isn't it? But as they're just prepping it for the morning's 10 AM rush. But we've got a chance to have a quick look in here. But a full-size cooker there, that's really great to see. Really nice, the black finishes of all the of the sink and the extras there. Nice, lovely soft closed doors. Using all that space, and you'll see here, see your stainless steel shower tray, and that of course goes with some lovely black, matte black shower finish there. That's obviously the back doors of the van, so you can see the shower is situated right at the back here. And there, of course, hiding away under there is your toilet as well. So that's nicely done. And notice the ceiling as well. It's a nice finish. I just put a little bit extra light on that. Yeah, it's a cork finish, and that's nice. Not seen that before either. Obviously provides some great extra insulation. That. Really nice high-tech control panel with all your different options there, from gas to water, USBs, water heating. Plenty of USB sockets as well, separate there. Very nice too. And a great big sliding side door access, which is really nice. Very nice van, that. So that's Out and About Campers. And some of their 2026 offerings. It's like a pearlescent finish. Look at the way as we move round, it sort of looks brown from here, and then as you come round, get that lovely change to green. Really nice paint job, that. Very nice too. And then after doing at least those 3 stands for camper vans, you definitely need a stop off. Nicely done, that, isn't it? Never the cheapest of places, of course, the merchants at these, but very nice too. A good stop off if you fancied a brew. Right, let's have a look at some of these other stands. We're about 10 to 10 now, so no doubt there'll be an announcement or two that the doors are opening imminently. This is the Jerba stand. This is a long wheelbase 4-berth van. Again, NCC approved manufacturer, a Jerba. And you can see there's the difference with the rails as well. And again, a very slightly little bit of sort of island start there, a bit like the ones we saw at Redline. This as well, interestingly, you see here, it's got your diesel fueled cooking, and this actually doubles up. We saw these last year for the first time. This doubles up as heating as well. So it's sort of a bit like, I guess it's a bit like a, if every of you have ever had an Argo or something similar, it's a little bit like that in that it generates heat. As well as being your cooking source as well. So, and of course diesel powered off the diesel supply of the van, so it's just another thing that's not drawing on your off-grid electric capability. I'll see if I can find out what the standard AGM or standard hab battery are fitted in here, but the fact that you can do diesel heating and diesel cooking is certainly saves on your electric, that's for sure. And of course extends your off-grid time if it's feeding off your main diesel tank, because it'll only be using sort of minimal amounts in comparison to the engine, of course. Yeah, really nice van that. And in fact fitted in this one as standard. Just spotted it there actually. You've got 100 amp hour and that's lithium. So there's a mixture already I've seen. You know, we had the AGM batteries on the stand over there, we had the massive 1000 amp hours from Camper King, and then we've got the 100 amp hour lithium as standard here, and of course it's a gas or a diesel option in terms of how the hob is powered. But always some really nicely set out vans, a Jerba. There's another slightly smaller wheelbase one. This one doesn't have any gas at all. So again, some really nice features there, aren't there? Hide them away well, don't they? This one obviously is a Ford based. And obviously being a gasless van, then you've got the diesel hob as well. So that's diesel hob which provides your heating and your as well as cooking option, which is just there. So instead of obviously having your gas combi boiler, you would have in here, for example, you've got a compressor fridge, therefore doesn't need gas, and you've got diesel heating and or diesel cooking. So, and in terms of, you know, the way this technology is coming on, we've all sort of heard of diesel heaters that you can bring in as a portable unit and add perhaps to your van, but now they're integrating them into this. We saw them first, as I mentioned earlier, at the VAT show last year. But now, you know, these have like an overnight mode where you can literally run this, you can have the heating on at night on a really low setting, and it uses, you know, doesn't even use a third of a cup of diesel. They are incredibly efficient units. And, you know, a gasless van is always is an option now, which wouldn't have been the case 2 or 3 years ago. You needed gas for one reason, but now with compressor fridges, diesel cooking, diesel heating, you've got these options now starting to hit the mainstream. Yeah, nice option that from Jerba Campervans. The 100 amp hours can be upgraded on the existing controlling unit, so that could be upgraded to 200 amp hours of lithium if you wanted it. So yeah, again, plenty of options, plenty of features in the Jerba Campervans options for 2026. And you can see some more of their spec sheets there.
Good morning everyone. Motorhome and Caravan Show is now open. We hope you have a most enjoyable and successful day. The show is now open.
Well, that left you in no doubt, didn't it, that the time is now 10 o'clock. Very nice too. So that's Jerba Campervans. One that was really nice last year was Bespoke Leisure, so see if you can get you into a couple of those vans as well. So the Bespoke Leisure vehicles, they also offer some nice finishes, as you'd expect. Plenty of choice on finishes, nice integral blinds as well. On a lot of the vans now I'm seeing this year already at the show, they've got lots of these pods sort of integral blinds and fly screens fitted now. And they're just chatting to one of the stand owners that's saying that VW are coming up with some solutions for some better screens at the front for the side windows and for the windscreen. More in line perhaps with motorhome finishes where you've got, where they've got much more integrated blind systems, so that'll be interesting to see when those appear. Green must be a colour for 2026. I think every stand has had something in this type of colour with it. Look at this, tucked away at the back here. That's squeezed in nicely, isn't it? My Rider. A lucky bike. Very nice too. Every year they get the lighting and the interior fits always boast some of the cutting edge lighting and tech like that. It's always good to spot all the new features each year as they become integrated into the new vans. Coming in at a 70k price point, this VW. Slightly facelifted grills there, very nice too. And then next to it as well, in red, slightly less, about 4 or 5k less this one. Quite a durable floor surface this, obviously not got the sliding rails, it's got the cantilever seats that set up the bed, but this is a really sort of hard-wearing, integrated into the bodywork, so it's really sort of hard-wearing, feels very tough surface that. This one just Ford based, sneaking up over 70k. But a similar, see in fact similar flooring and similar finish inside. There's always a stack of options as well as to whether you want the full leather finishes or upholstery or cloth upholstery or internal power options for your habitation battery upgrades. Always a stack of options for you that to suit your individual budget. fact, there you go, starts at sort of 61k, and with all the upgrades shown in this one, that puts it up at near 74. So lots of options to spend a bit more money. Interesting to see as well that of how the price points do move year to year, and it's most definitely a lower price point this year, which I've already noticed for the campervans. And probably one could say a bit more realistic than the 90, 100,000 price tags that we were seeing 12, 18 months ago. It's been a crazy market, hasn't it, the last 2 or 3 years? Crazy market for vans of this size, but also all the way up through the scale to the motorhomes and the big tag axles. It's been some crazy prices, up and down, yo-yoing of price. A lot of these as well are offering lithium now as standard, 100 amp hour lithium as standard, with options to perhaps double that if you wanted a little bit more off-grid capability. But yeah, as always with Bespoke Leisure, a really good selection, but mainly, you know, a stack of course, customisable options that you've got if you were to choose them as your supplier. And of course, it would be rude not to have a look at their sort of flagship model. This is over 100k on the road. Look, laser lights in the front grille there, tucked away. This one comes in at just under 110k, but you can see when we stroll around the outside that it's got some really blingy features to it, not least of which are the wheels and tyres. Look at these chairs tucked away into the back door. That's a nice little touch, that. Don't think I've seen that before. In each side there, and then look at this electrics in here. I had to show you that, isn't it? That is fabulous. Beautiful Victron system. And they've made a really lovely feature of that, haven't they? With the with its own glass lit cabinet. That is a thing of beauty in terms of electrics. That's a 2 kilowatt multi-plus as well. So with Fogstar, obviously a very similar process to ours in our van, similar system I should say, and some fantastic off-grid capability. But I have to say I do like the bling effect with the lit cabinet at the back. That's a great touch. Obviously the bed lifts up and down. And plenty of storage space, isn't there, in the back here. Cracking van, that. Let's go and have a look in the side of it for you. So in this top of the range model, you can see you've got a lot of options. It's a 300 amp hour as standard, but there's the reference to that unit we saw in the back there behind the display, which was fantastic. 63 litres of fresh water. That just is a reminder that the one over at Camper King, of course, which was the VW, that just shows how impressive that was, because that has a similar size freshwater tank squeezed into that VW that we saw earlier. Again, diesel heating, but 200 watts of solar on the roof of this. Double opening door fridge, so you can open it from both sides there. Really nicely done. And then induction hob, which is really nice. Plenty of power under there. And then you've got this shower and toilet, which is, I mean, this is under a 6 metre van, this 2 berth, under 6 metres, so they've squashed in a lot into here, really nicely put together. There we go, that's back through to that big storage area that we saw. Very nice. And of course, aircon unit up there as well. Normally an extra, but that's now a standard in this particular van. Very nice too, isn't it? But of course, a higher price point start there at 110k. But a lot of standard equipment you'll get for that money, and a nice finish for that look at the Bespoke Leisure stand. The first pit stop. Coffee required, 11 AM. Nikki's joined me as well with her fizzy water. Has to be done, doesn't it? And in fact, down in price, I think. Only 5 or 6 quid for those two. Last year, I reckon it would be 8 or 9. So, a quick interlude in between the camper vans was in the corner, was this little stand. And look at these. Now, that you would think is something akin to an old vintage Gold Star or BSA or something, but these are actually bicycles, e-bikes. Look at their lovely little display with all their touches. What do you think of one of these then, Raz?
I think they're great, aren't they? Should we replace Peggy with it?
Yeah, yes. Well, so I said they're e-bikes. They are actually e-bikes. So, of course, 15 miles an hour or just over, I think, is the legal UK speed. This one over here is marked as something that would do 28 miles an hour top speed. So it can be, if there was such a word as down speeded, I suppose, then that would be the description. To get it, you can regulate it back down to the 15 miles an hour, but so that it's UK legal. But of course, you can use the full 28 mile an hour, your private land, if you wanted to. What do you think then?
I hope that's alcohol free.
Now that's loving that. Yeah, what a great touch. They definitely remind me of something vintage.
I think this one is road legal.
Yes.
So there's no dual settings on it to make it legal and non-legal. That's just road legal. But it's,
price tanks wise, guys. Look, there we go. 2795 for that one. So 15 miles an hour. Got to do a bit of pedalling. I remember the old Pooch Maxis back in the day where they had a set of pedals on them back in the early 80s. Good grief. And now, there we go. We've got a sort of Pooch style pedal system on what looks like a moped, but it's a bike. Aren't they great? And that one looks a bit more like a bike over there. Loving the drinks holder and the goggles as well. Get the full moped experience. And yet, look at that, a bicycle. Isn't it great? So there you go, corner of the Campervan stand. A display from Cooler King electric bicycles. Have a look at them online. Some really funky things, aren't there?